How do you know yourself? And how do you really know yourself? And today, this is what we're going to explore with different dimensions. And we hope that with that, you have a better understanding of yourself. So welcome to LiveLifeToTheFullest.tv.
Like the butterfly, our lives are too defined by change. We were all once infants, naive, pure, and free. But time doesn't stop for anybody. And with time comes change. We grow up and experience changes in our bodies, our values, our minds. While change is inevitable, we can take control of it. Here, at LiveLifeToTheFullest.tv, we can guide you to direct the changes in your life and yourself. Join our journey of self-improvement as we metamorphosize you into your ideal self.
So, welcome, and we just want to start today with this sharing about ourselves, how we can learn more about ourselves. But before we go into that, let us have an inspirational quote to freshen us ourselves before we go into something serious, right? So, the question for us to really think about is how to lighten things up and laugh more as a family. So as you know, in LiveLifeToTheFullest.tv, we are starting this whole sharing so that we can improve relationship within your family. And we also believe that if we can do that, we will also able to improve our relationship with our friends, with our colleagues, with our community members. So again, the question, how to lighten things up and laugh more as a family? Now, before we go into that, don't forget, right? We have our 4 guests. Still remember? That's right, our 4 DISC guests. So before we go into that, just a reminder, whenever there is a wisdom quote that to be shared, what we're going to do is that we're going to invite every one of them to share what they think about this wisdom quote. And we know that whichever it is, there's always a different opinion of a certain issue. And we would like to have different perspective so that for you as a viewer, you will have a better appreciation of what this wisdom quote is all about. So with that, here we go. Comedy. So comedy, is it a way to help us to lighten things up? Well, it would be good to hear from 4 of our gentlemen here what they think about this quote. So with that, any takers? Okay, let's start with Inspector D. Now, Inspector D, what do you think about this quote?
Why, this is a very big topic. This topic so big, comedy. Now, from a psychological point of view, from psychology, comedy is actually a coping mechanism. It's a way that people adopt it to cope with life. And with this, so that they are able to face their daily life challenges. You know, life is so stressful enough. There are so many things that are going to keep us occupied all the time. And we're highly stressed. So in order to help us to relax, comedy come into action. It is a therapeutic way of helping us to cope with a stressful life. So this is good. However, you talk about faith, I'm not so sure. What is faith? Yeah, faith is something that actually psychologically we put onto ourselves so that we can look forward. So comedy allows us to give some vision that, well, maybe it's impossible, but all right, it gives us an opportunity to reimagine a positive future that we can have. And with that, that will give us faith. And with faith, then we can face life and move forward. Comedy. Yeah, how can we live without comedy? Thank you. Well, our viewers, what do you think? What is your thought about this wisdom quote? How does this relate to you? How does this really give you an idea how you can lighten things up and laugh more as a family? Now, if you have your own ideas, if you have your own thoughts, write it to us. Comment and we will welcome. And let's see what. Maybe you also can be an inspiration to all of us. And join our Telegram channel and get to enjoy all this with regular reminders to inspire you so that you can able to move on with your life without being affected by your environment, by your situation, or by your circumstances. So we look forward having you to join us. So with that, let us move on to our 100 Live Life to the Fullest ideas. And with that, let's start with the very first one, which actually were able to help us to know ourselves better. And what any way or other way than to really think about our family background. Now, your family background actually will influence who you are and what you will become and what you will do eventually. So it will be good for you to able to look back and understand, for example, your parents. How your parents actually brought you up. How or what are their parenting skills that actually have affected you during your childhood development, during your teenage development, and how you actually go over your puberty or adolescent life and then mature into an adult. Every of this stage will actually make up who you are in one way or another. For example, your parents may have a very strict upbringing of you, and because of that, you may end up a person who are very, very stringent with rules and regulation, and you may be a very compliant person, and that actually made up who you are. Now, if you have a parent that actually will encourage more about fun, about really doing anything that you want, now that is where you will experience and eventually become a person who wants to freely do anything you want. So by looking back, this is how you can know yourself better. Now, by looking back into your family background, this is also where you can understand in terms of your family heritage or what your family has in terms of the skill, knowledge, or maybe even the network that it has built over the decades. Now, these are where actually it will most probably affect you too. For example, if let's say your parents are actually part of the community that are actually doing a lot of charity, doing a lot of community service, now likelihood when you were growing up, you are actually very much involved in their activities. You most probably has followed them and joined the activity program, events, and even projects. For all you know, I won't be surprised you are actually part or you have been contributing to what they have been doing. And because of that, it actually influences you in terms of who you know or what you do and how you do things or even how you manage things.
And this actually will impact you, and of course how you going to do, how are you going to behave, who are you going to work with, or how are you going to even look forward to your life. This has an impact. So we hope that with this number one point, in order to understand yourself better, look into your family background. So with this, hope that this will be a good beginning, and whether your family background is positive or negative in terms of affecting your life, we hope that that also can be a good kickstart, and from there how you can move on. With that, let us also share with you our next 100 Live Life the Fullest ideas. In terms of knowing yourself, how can you know yourself better? We are going to share with you that the second point is actually based on your experience. So now your own experience, it means that throughout this life, from birth, when you are a child, when you are a kid, when you are a teen, and when you are a young adult until right now, what have you experienced? Now, your experience can come in terms of your interaction with your family members, with your relatives, with your friends, with your classmates, with your teacher, with your guardian, with your grandparents, and many others that you have come across. Now, the experience also can be due to the program or the activity that you have been participating. And all this influence who you are. Likelihood, there's some of it that you like, and there's some others that you don't like. There's some people that you are gearing towards, you are more closer with, while there's some you actually refrain from getting close to them. Whichever case, all this, whether is it relational, or whether is it object, or whether is it interacting with your environment, all this will affect who you are. And this will be a time to really reflect and then tell yourself, what are those things that actually have a positive impact on you, or you have a positive reaction to it, or is something that you are actually being attracted to. While there are some that actually has a negative impact on you, you most probably got a negative emotion out of it, or have a reaction that is negative. Now this is where you were able to better discover yourself. And because this environment will able to lead on to you to the next phase of your life with this same environment that you are still in it. And it's very important to able to do that, so that whatever that you are moving forward, you have that in mind. And so that how you move forward, whatever that you do will be more realistic, more achievable, rather than you becoming too imaginative and too dreamy. So based on experience, we're able to let you see over this few years, and then from there, after knowing yourself, what can you do next? So with this, hope that this also can have some takeaway for you. So with this, let's take a little break, and I will share with you a little family bonding activity. This is something that we have done, and I thought that something that we can share with you, and hope that this is something that you also can do, not just only for yourself, but also for your family. Well, you can do it for your friends too. So with this, here we go.
Hello everyone, today I'm sharing with you how to make a booklet without staplers. You only need a paper and a scissors. Here we go. how you make a booklet without staplers. Hope you like my video and remember to subscribe to my channel. See you again, bye!
Alright, so thanks to Zaza. So we hope that with this a little suggestion, it is something that you can do for your family. Now the activity itself actually is not difficult. Neither it is great. It is not. It's just an ordinary piece of paper. But what is important is actually you got a chance to actually work with your child. Teach something that is not stressful, but yet something you can work together. And what we did was, we actually take the opportunity and use our handphone, and then we did a video out of it. And of course, my wife, she did a little editing, add the music, and make it into a fun video. Well, with that, it actually captures some special memory of your child. So try out this weekend and see how does that work for you. Well, if you have no idea how to get to do this with your own phone, well, we can show you a little tips or tricks. So right now, let us move on to the next 100 Live Life to the Fullest ideas. And knowing yourself, which we think that is a very, very important, very first step in order for you to live life to the fullest. And with that, what is the third element that actually can help you to understand or to know yourself better? And that is your expertise. Now, in this case, your expertise, what can it be based on? Well, your expertise is something that you are really good at. And most of the time, it has to do with what you have been trained for. And that all starts all the way when you are observing what your parents were doing. Now, if your parents has been doing certain thing as a profession, likelihood you are also being influenced. For example, if your father or your mother is a teacher, likelihood you will be seeing the way that they work. And then from there, through your daily conversation, you will also able to pick up some of the skill set that is related to education. Or if your father is a creative person, be it a musician or an entertainer, now likelihood you have been through observational learning, you will also pick up certain things, whether is it skills or whether is it knowledge or whether is it even from their experience, that become part of your expertise. And especially if you follow them to wherever you go. The second possible area that can be part of your expertise is actually your academic training. Now, the academic training can be actually from your childcare education, can be your primary education, can be from your secondary, and depending on how old, it can be also from your so-called tertiary education. And whichever case, all this actually give you a very, very strong expertise foundation. And especially if there's something that you are actually good at, and that will actually make up your expertise. For example, if there are certain kind of academic results or academic subjects that you are actually doing very well, be it mathematics or science. Now, in this case, you will be very, very good in terms of system thinking. Whereas, if you are interested in things that very, very much related to humanities, then likelihood you are a person who is able to see things from various perspectives. And likelihood you are also able to empathize. So each of these subjects actually constitute of what you can be good at. So by looking back, that most probably were able to tell who you are, what you're good at, and likelihood that also can be your possible career development. So expertise is something that it can be part of you. And not talking about some of you are already working. Now, if you're already in the workforce, then likelihood whatever that you are doing right now in your workplace, that is also your expertise. Well, of course, we hope that you enjoy what you are doing. The more you enjoy in your workplace, likelihood that will also become a very, very strong expertise domain that is part of you. So we hope that with this third perspective of how you can know yourself, can add another dimension, and so that you can appreciate yourself as a person. So with that, let us move on to the next so-called idea to live life the fullest in the aspect of knowing yourself, and that is passion. Passion is something that is out of the so-called structured learning. When we talk about structured learning of formal education, we are talking about the kindergarten that you have gone through, the primary school, secondary school education you have gone through. You most probably have gone through some form of tertiary education. And from tertiary education, you may have gone into post-tertiary education. But when we talk about passion, this is not being enforced. This is not even being encouraged. If there's any encouragement, it is all likely come from internal. In other words, this is intrinsically driven. It is not driven by external factor. And this is something most probably deep inside you that you really love it. You will love it in terms of loving it to do it. You may even love about thinking about it. You may even love to even look forward in future, because there are certain things that you can't really do right now, but it is something that you love it, and you also even hope to see that that can happen, that can be realized. And if that's the case, that is your passion. For example, maybe it's your passion to own a sports car, to drive a sports car. Now, most probably right now, you can't afford. Then if that case, that can be a passion in the form of, well, you will be reading about sports car. You most probably will find out more through YouTube videos. You will most probably go and study different kind of cars, maybe right from vintage all the way to the most modern and the most advanced form of vehicles. And most probably you are even doing all this researching, reading, even out of your so-called working times. In other words, all these are driven not by external, not by money, not by anybody, simply because you love it. And most probably you are working towards it. Maybe you are developing a bigger plans. For example, plan how you're going to buy a sports car. Then in that case, you work towards it. And in other words, passion is something that it is forward driven and always pushing you to do beyond what you can do right now. And it will always be challenging you. And it will always be impossible. But yet, only you can make it possible. So what is your passion? This is something that for every one of you to go and discover. You most probably already figure out halfway through. Now is whether this passion is going to make your dreams come true. So with this, we are actually coming to an end to share about how you can know yourself better. We'll continue to share with you how you can know yourself better in our later on series. So with that, let us go into our next inspirational quote. And we hope that with that, we can be further inspired again or to be reminded. And the question for all of us is, why is spending time with family so important? Why is spending time with our family is so important? Now, this is something that we got to think about. And we know that in this difficult time, keeping within the family can be very, very tough. We also heard that there are families during the pandemic face a lot of stress and some even to the point of domestic violence. Children are being abused. Why is this happening? Why is this so? Yet, these are also the time where family become closer together. They realize that they don't have the opportunity to come face to face, but during the pandemic, it just gives them the opportunity to be closer. And again, why is spending time with family is so important? Let us be inspired. Wow, wow! Now imagine that you are not only doing this to your other family members, but your other family members are also doing that to you. How would that make you feel? So indeed, we are not living alone, and we're definitely not living for ourselves. But before we continue, let us hear from our four gentlemen what they think or feel about this inspirational quote. So with that, any takers? I tell you, to make other people happier is really not my problem. And I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm finding fun for myself. And there's so many things that I want to do. I wouldn't have any time to take care of others. I feel that actually your own life, you are responsible for yourself. It's just simple as that. So in other words, right, you make yourself feel important. I'm going to make myself important. I'm going to find things that I want to do, and I want to have great fun, and then from there, right, I have a great future, and I just want to move forward. It's just simple as that. Okay, cut. Okay, wait. Okay, another try. You see, there's so many things that we need to do, and we really have no time to take care of everybody. Why do I need to make you feel important? Why do I need to make you feel important? Why do I need to make you feel important? I think what's more important is that I need to make myself feel important. And I need to take care of myself, and I need to have fun, and I need to do things that I like to do. I think that's what's more important. So imagine if everyone is doing what I'm doing, then isn't it everybody is happy, everybody is important? Correct or not? So now you have here our four gentlemen, they are sharing. But what about you? What do you think about this? Is family really, really that important? And that you need to spend time with them? So comment, share with us, and we would love to hear from you. Now, if you want to continue to receive our wisdom quote on a regular basis, now all you need to do is to scan this particular code and join us. It is free, and you will receive them not only just to be inspired, maybe sometimes it's just to be reminded, so that we are always staying positive, inspired, so that we can continue to live life to the fullest. And with that, we want to share a story. In fact, in this section, Bounce Asia, we'd like to share a story from Singapore. And that really reminds us how important is work-life balance. With this work-life balance, how can we really have both? Now, when I say both, means you can have your achievement in your career, in your work, or in your business, while at the same time, you also have a life. And we know that this too is so difficult to balance. And yet, many of us has been neglecting it. We either put too much emphasis in our work, or we just give so much energy to our family. So how important it is. And we have a story to share. And we hope that with that, it can be an inspiration for all of us. So with this BounceSG, we have this story from Singapore. So here we go.
The main struggle is how to manage your customer and how to manage your staff. Those are the things over years when the company start to grow. Those are the struggles that I feel is quite difficult to manage. When I started from home and I manage alone, it's easy because I do it myself. I can manage customer, no problem. I can talk to customer, I can communicate with customer, but people management is a bit tough for me. So I find that I have these difficulties that I couldn't manage people, manage staff very well. Then I realized, it's good to get a senior manager so that it's easier for me to operate as well. I'm actually happy to say that I enjoy my work because I get to make dresses for people and at the same time share with them my life experience. Important thing is how I became a Christian and how my marriage life is like, and to tell them the truth during this period of time, it's just a honeymoon period. So there's expectation from both parties when you start to stay together. When you have kids, you have mouth to feed. Those are the challenges that I can share with my customers so that next time when they experience the same thing, they know how to overcome it. As and when I can, I will spend time with my son. Because I also find that whatever things that I'm doing now, I can share with him my experience. I'm happy with what I have today. I'm happy that I can actually have somebody to help me. I'm happy that at least my son can actually relieve part of my work, replying of email, marketing, accounting, and some simple sewing for us as well. To make every customer happy is very important for wedding. So we are still trying to actually achieve that, and once I achieve it, I really feel very, very happy.
So I made you happy, therefore I'll be happy.
It's very different from other type of business, wedding business.
So, we hope that with all this inspirational quote that we have shared with you, it will always be a reminder. It will always be an inspiration for you. And so that every day you will be recharged again and again and again, despite of what your life is. Just a recollection of what we have shared with you. For now, how to know yourself better, there are 4 ways. First, know your family background. In fact, not just know. In fact, even to understand. From your parents' experience, their expertise, their network, their community, and even things that they are good at. You might even go into your ancestor, including your grandparents, your great-grandparents, or even your great-great-grandparents. And that will make up who you are for a start. Second is really to look into your own experience right from birth until now. Hopefully right from birth you still can remember certain things, and then with the latest memory or experiences you have gone through, and this actually will affect you, especially how you're going to move on, how you're going to interact with people, how are you going to perform, how are you going to make things come true. Third way is actually understanding through your expertise. Again, looking back, it can be due to your education, it also can be due to your training, or it can be due to your career. Some of you may even be on the entrepreneurial journey. Now, nevertheless, this also will actually made up part of your expertise. With that actually made up who you are. And the fourth method is to know your passion. Your passion is something that will actually push you to do things which will be impossible, but only you will make it possible. So with that, let us conclude today's sharing with you. We'll be looking forward to see you the next time as we continue on more methods to know yourself better. So continue to connect with us. Right ahead of you, there are 4 QR codes. Choose any of these and come in connection with us. We will welcome you whichever way. We hope that's something that we can continue to keep in touch. For the first QR code, if you're interested to receive regular wisdom codes, this is where you join us in our Telegram channel. Second, if you will continue to receive about 100 ideas to live life to the fullest, this is where you join our second Telegram channel. Whereas for BounceSG, if you have interesting story that you want to share with us, especially if they are inspiring or they are able to encourage people how to live life to the fullest despite of life challenges, we will be so happy to hear from you. And not only from Singapore, we also would want to hear story from Asia country, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, China. All stories from anywhere we actually will welcome. So scan and then come in contact and share us with your story. And last but not least is actually this particular fun activity that we'll want to share with you. This is actually our latest technology in terms of using augmented reality. So with this, we hope that by scanning this AR code, you will enjoy this particular interaction with our butterfly. And not forgetting that this is not only just for yourself. Please get your family together and then so that you have a good time snapping your family photos with our butterfly. So with this, thank you for watching Live Life to the Fullest, our program, and we'll look forward to see you again. So with this, let us enjoy this particular video, and not forgetting that after you watched it, send us a picture of you and your butterfly, and then email to us to livelifethefullest.tv@gmail.com. Or you can simply just hashtag the photograph and put it in your Instagram, Facebook. We will most welcome. So with this, we are signing off, and then with that, see you again.
Come, take on the LLTTF Family AR Challenge. Parents, get your QR readers ready and let's go! Scan the augmented reality code on the screen with your reader and open the webpage. Then read the instructions and tap on the augmented reality icon on the bottom right of the butterfly. Set the butterfly down and watch it fly. See if you can follow the butterfly and find its name hidden on his body. Get your children in on the fun too. See if they can too find the butterfly's name. Shh. No hinting. Don't leave anyone out. Get as much of your family to join in as possible. The more the merrier. Finally, take a picture to keep a memory of the fun times you've had together. Try to get the butterfly in the shot too. Scan the code on the screen now to participate in the challenge. And don't forget to have fun and live life to the fullest.
LiveLifeToTheFullest.tv, a big learning community. Uncle Roland and his friend, ready to listen and be your friend. Yeah, yeah, live life, yeah, yeah, to the fullest. Yeah, yeah, live life, yeah, yeah, to the fullest. Big potential is what you have. The situation will drive you mad. If disappointed or anxious, lost or confused and aimless, we will help you to take action. Work together with one mission. Live life to the fullest together. Live life to the fullest forever. Yeah, yeah. Live life. Yeah, yeah. To the fullest. Yeah, yeah. Live life. Yeah, yeah. To the fullest. Yeah, yeah. Together. Yeah, yeah. Forever. Yeah, yeah. Together. Yeah, yeah. Forever. Live life to the fullest. Live life to the fullest. Oh, 香啊. Hey, maybe you can do a better job. Alright. Hear from you.